Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Once again, I would like to welcome all the devotees for joining our daily Damodar program. So today is a very, very special day. Today is a Govardhan Puja, and it's a very beautiful pastime where all the Brajavasis coming together, right, to be in association with the Lord Krishna under the shelter of Govardhan. So it's also a wonderful occasion for us that all of us during this lockdown time we coming together virtually under the shelter of our ISKCON Whitefield Zoom program. So I'd like to thank everybody, and without further ado, I would like to hand it over to Devanand Prabhuji, who will be speaking today on the qualities of Lord Krishna. Hare Krishna, Devanand Prabhu, please go ahead.
Krishna Prabhuji, thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna. So on this wonderful occasion, so it's pleasure to be among with all of you. And so today we'll be talking about many qualities about compassion. So the Lord. Prabhuji, am I audible? There is a bit of a disturbance.
Yes, Prabhuji, please go ahead.
So Lord Krishna, he's so compassionate upon all living entities. He appears again and again in this world in different form, millennium after millennium. So the Lord says in the 4th chapter, 4.8, Paritranaya sadhunam vinashaya cha duskrutam dharma samstapnarthaya sambhavami yuge yuge. To deliver the pious and to annihilate the miscreants, as well as to re-establish the principles of religion, I myself appear millennium after millennium. So he gives this guarantee that he comes again and again on this planet to deliver the pious and protect them and reinstall the religious principle. So out of compassion, the Lord appeared as Krishna himself in Vrindavan in the Dwapara Yuga, and also as Buddha to show compassion to the animals, and as this Narasimhadev again he appeared to protect Prahlad. So there are multiple, there are many innumerable pastimes we don't have words and time to glorify all the pastimes of the Lord. So now, nonetheless, we will be discussing about one pastime in this session. And he cannot be always present in his personal form. So he's given his the holy name. He put all the potency in the holy name and given us the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. So Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So he not only comes himself, he also sends his devotees and servants time to time to reclaim all his fallen souls and guide them back to home, back to Godhead. And also Krishna, he instructed Bhagavad Gita to Arjuna, and so that the lessons and the Bhagavad Gita is accessible to the human society, available to the human society, to make use of it and find a way back to home, back to Godhead. So he's shown his compassion in each and every dealing of with his devotees. So one such pastime I would like to share today. So there is a Arjuna Acharya. So it's one South Indian Brahmin. So it's a pastime which happened in the southern part of India. So Arjuna Acharya and his wife, they were very ardent devotees of the Lord, and they were very living very simple life in a hut. And Arjunacharya, his daily routine is to, apart from after his rituals in the morning, I mean the routines in the morning, performing Mangalarti and other routine. So he sit down for longer time to write purport to purport on Bhagavad Gita. So after that, he used to go out and beg alms in the nearby village. He goes to only 3 houses and takes only enough alms which is required for that day for himself and his wife. So that's how he was leading his life. So one such day, he was so much engrossed in writing commentary, so he forgot how the time went by, and by the time he realized it was too late, but nevertheless he still tried to go to the village and beg alms. But when he reached, it was late in the afternoon. He the household women were taking rest, so he couldn't get any alms that day. So he came back disappointed, and he told his wife that, I didn't get anything today, so I'll go to the river and take bath and come back. So then what happens? Before that, he was just that day he was meditating on the sloka on which he was writing the purport. So it was happened to be coincidentally on 9th chapter, verse 22. Ananyas chintayantoma ye jana pariupasate tesham nityabhyuktanam yogakshemam vahamyaham. So the translation is like this: but those who always worship me with exclusive devotion, meditating on my transcendental form, to them I carry what they lack and I preserve what they have. So Arjuna Acharya was kind of started thinking deeply about this, the last word, Vahamyaham, I personally carry. Then he scratched that line, Yogakshemam Vahamyam, and then he told his wife that, he kind of felt that it is not correct. So then he told his wife that, I'm going to, after scratching that line, he told his wife that I'm going to river for bath. So soon after he left, the two boys appear at the house of this Arjuna Acharya, carrying loads of rice, vegetables, fruits, butter. So she was very surprised, and she was also wonderstruck looking at these two boys. They were very attractive, and she was very happy that she could get these ingredients so that she can cook for her hungry husband. And she was asking them, "Who are you? I mean, who sent you?" So the boys replied, "Your husband is our spiritual master. He only sent us with his foodstuff." Then when they were about to return after delivering the foodstuff, she noticed that on their back there are scars, and she had asked, "What happened? I mean, how did this happen to you, young boys?" So to that, the boys replied that, this was caused by your husband. Then we don't obey his order, he kind of punishes us. So then she was so kind of angry at her husband, and she applied sandalwood paste on the scar. And after that, the boys returned. Of course, no reward for guessing who these boys are. So they are none other than Krishna and Balram themselves had come to deliver the foodstuff. So after this happened, when Arjunacharya returned to the house, and the wife was very upset, and she was not talking to the husband. So the Arjunacharya asked, "What happened? Did I hurt you in any way?" She said, "No." And then she narrated the story that you are so cruel that you're physically punishing your disciples when they don't obey your orders. So how can you be so cruel? Then he was surprised, and then he could kind of understand that it is none other than Krishna and Balram had visited their house, and then he rushed to the place where he was doing his translation and writing purport on Bhagavad Gita. So he opened that page. Then he saw that that verse number 22 of the chapter, which he had scratched. That scratch, the line disappeared. Then he could realize that it was. It was kind of reassuring that it was none other than Krishna and Balram. And so he kind of begged forgiveness for being unfaithful in the words of the Lord. And his wife was weeping that they were here right in front of me, but I couldn't recognize them and worship them and serve them. So she was also very very regretful and weeping. So with this, so the kind of the conclusion is the Lord. So every single word, everything which is said is the word of the Lord is absolutely true, and he put in all his potency in the slokas, each and every slokas of Bhagavad Gita. So that is a pastime I wanted to share, and it was a wonderful pastime to see how the Lord reciprocated with his devotees with all the compassion. And so with that, when we come down to our situation today, with our Guru Paramparas, this compassion carried down to the disciplic succession in our times, recent times, Srila Prabhupada, at his ripened age, out of his compassion, he gave up his peaceful spiritual life at Vrindavan and went to America to preach in the Western countries in their language. And so this again is a compassion what his spiritual master set out for him, and how this was carried on from the disciplic succession all the way from the Lord himself. So this even we see today in our times with the disciples of Srila Prabhupada and his disciples and his disciples, further disciples down the line. So with each one of them, we are able to see this compassion, which is originally started and handed out by the Lord himself. So we could still enjoy and ripe the fruit. And so we would be only, it would be only justified and justifiable if we are able to show some amount of compassion to other beings whom we come across and show our compassion. So with that, I'll just take a thank you Prabhuji for giving us this opportunity on this special occasion. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Devanand Prabhuji. So it was a wonderful narration from that past time, how Lord always protects his devotees. And we also can remember his time, right, of Govardhan Puja, when all the Brajavasis, they went to Lord Krishna, 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 Mahabaho, right? Oh Lord Krishna, you are the only protector. Lord says, yes, I have taken the promise, right, to always protect the devotees, and how he lifted this whole Govardhan hill, right, on just his left hand, right, and he protected all the devotees. And further down, as you're saying, like Mahaprabhu and all the devotees, they without any distinction, right, patra apad vichar nahi sthana sthan, without any consideration, how they are so merciful, right? And thank you very much, Devanand Prabhu, and for coming up and sharing so nicely. So now I would hand it over to Manjulali Mataji to go to Vrindavan, Brajmandal. ऐसे बोलते हैं जो ब्रजमंडल की जो 84 कोस की परिक्रमा करते हैं, वो 84 लाख योनि में आता ही नहीं है. Thank you, Mataji, for taking us to Vrindavan.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Thank you for coming amongst us today. And Hare Krishna, dear devotees, please accept my humble obeisances. Shri Vrajmandal Parikrama ki Jai. So, yesterday we were at Mansi Ganga and Anyor. When we walked just 400 meters ahead of Anyor, we come across Govinda Kund. This is the Kund where Indradev, he came and he wept and he asked for forgiveness from Lord Krishna after his arrogant act of the torrential rainfall on Brajvasis. And also the Surabhi cow, she bathed Lord Krishna with her milk. And after that, Krishna was called Govinda. So this is where we now. A little ahead we go. In fact, we complete half the parikrama of Govardhan and we come across this Puchrika Lota Baba little altar. And Puchrika Lota Baba is a large, well-built friend of Krishna who is still waiting for Lord Krishna to return from Mathura as the Lord had promised him. We just pray for a pinch of enthusiasm, his determination, his patience in his bhakti. Actually, when the Lord lifted the Govardhan Parvat, his Putri, Lota Baba is a cowherd boy, and he also put his stick under the Govardhan to support the Lord. And he thought that he was much more well built than Krishna, and he was supporting the entire Govardhan, and that the Lord is so small. What can he do, anyways? So Krishna read his mind and he tried to remove a little bit of support from Govardhana, and he shook badly. The Govardhan Parvat shook badly, and he understood his helpless position, and he prayed to the Lord to resume his task. All right, so now without taking too much time, today we are going to take you to Radhakund and Shyamkund. We have Navya with us here today. Over to you, Navya. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. We are now at Radhakund. In his Govind Lilamrita, Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami reveals that Radhakund is surrounded in the 8 directions by the 8 kunjas or groves of Srimati Radharani's principal sakhas. The natural beauty of these kunjas lie beyond any mundane experience of beauty we may have had in this world. Likewise, Shyamukunda is surrounded by the kunjas of Krishna's 8 principal friends, or his Priya Narmasakas, each of whom submitted his kunja to different gopi to manage. Radhakund and its surrounding area is the scene of many wonderful pastimes of the divine couple in the Madhyana portion of their eternal eightfold daily pastimes. This period lasts from 10:45 a.m. to 3:36 p.m. and the pastimes include quarreling over picking flowers, stealing Krishna's flute, water sports, a swing festival, and playing dice. Radhakunda's banks are decorated with many temples. Just down the road and then down a small alley to the left stands a Radha Krishna temple, home to the presiding deities of Radhakund. These deities were discovered by Srila Raghunath Das Goswami while he was overseeing the excavation of Radhakund. After Krishna killed Arishtasura, the gopis wouldn't allow him to come near. He had just killed a bull. Although Arishtasura was a demon, they argue he had nonetheless assumed the form of a bull. So the gopis insisted that Krishna would have to be purified of this offense by bathing in all the holy rivers before he could be qualified to associate with them again. Krishna, however, did not want to leave Braja to visit all the holy places, so he struck the earth with his heel and created a lake bed, Shyamakund. The waters of all holy places then appeared there to fill his kund. The Lord bathed in Shyamakund and with a charming smile declared that the gopis had now become impure and unworthy of his occasion because they had sided with the demon. Still he suggested they could bathe in Shyamakund to purify themselves. The gopis, however, would have none of that. They decided to dig their own kund with their bangles. Once it was dug, they formed a line stretching all the way to Mansi Ganga and passed pots of water to one another to fill Radha Kund. It was an arduous task and went well into the night. In fact, it went on until close to midnight. The Kund wasn't small, so even with all their effort, it was far from being filled. Eventually, Sri Shamasundar's hymn, the personified river, holy rivers, and the lakes, humbly prayed to Srimati Radhika and they be allowed to enter her Kund. This blessing would perfect their existence. With her graceful permission, they flowed from Shyamakund into Radhakund. At that moment, the Lord declared in front of the ecstatic gathering of the gopis that Srimati Radharani's Kund would be even more famous than his own, and that he would always perform his pastimes there. Sri Radhakund ki Jai. As midnight approaches, the steps leading down to the Kund are carpeted with pilgrims. There is practically no space left. There are thousands of people everywhere in the water, on the banks of Kund, on the rooftops, and even on the trees. The area is lit with decorative lights and floodlights. Mantras glorifying Radha Kund are chanted on loudspeakers and the noise is deafening. Just as we receive the special mercy of great personalities on their appearance days, so on this most auspicious day of the appearance of Radha Kund, we find ourselves recipient of the Kunda's very special mercy. The countdown begins. Every announcement increases the pilgrims' excitement. 10 minutes to go, 5 minutes, 2 minutes. It's 12 o'clock with tumultuous sounds of Radhe. The crowd surges forward and dives into Radhakund. The devotees are overwhelmed with emotion. The atmosphere is surcharged with Srimati Radharani's mercy. This experience is not one of this world. How can I even describe it? Radhakund is the most exalted of all places of Raja. The devotees fill bottles with Radhakund water to bring back to their individual temples and yatras for those devotees who have stayed behind. For the pilgrims themselves, there is a little doubt that the memories of this occasion will always reside in their hearts, bringing them back home, back to Sri Vrindavan Dham. Nitai Gaur Premanande, Hari Hari Bol. Thank you.
Right, that was Navya, a beautiful narration of Shishirada and Shyam Kunda. So let me tell you something about Navya. Navya has been a very, very sincere student of the Gita classes. She knows many shlokas, many pastimes since the past 4 years. And she continues to do service in some way or the other with her brother Aniket. So let us pray that Navya becomes a great devotee of the Lord and becomes a good preacher too. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Thank you. Hare Bol. Over to you, Prabhu.
Thank you very much, Navya and Mataji, for taking us to Govardhan and the most exalted place of the universe, that is a Radha Kund. And that's how, like, you reminded of also Raghunath Das Goswami. Now, he used to pray that Dehi Nikata Nivasa Nij Govardhan, like how we should, always meditate and remember, right, Govardhan and Radha Kund, Syam Kund. Thank you very much, Navya, once again, and Mataji, for taking us to this wonderful place on this auspicious day of Govardhan Puja. Hari Bol. So now we'll have, I think, Vikas Prabhu family taking us through the Damodar Stakam. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Are you audible, Prabhu?
Yes, Prabhuji, please go ahead.
Hare Krishna. Shri Damodar Kashtam ki
Jai.
Jai.
नमामीश्वरं सच्चिदानन्दरूपं लसत्कुण्डलं गोकुले विराजमानं
नमामीश्वरं सच्चिदानन्दरूपं लसत्कुण्डलं गोकुले विराजमानं यशोदाभियो लोकलाडवमानं परामृष्टमत्यन्तदुःखितोऽप्या यशोदाभियो लोकलाडवमानं परामृष्टमत्यन्तदुःखितोऽप्या रुदन्तं मुहुर्नेत्रयुग्मं मृजन्तं कराम्बोजयुग्मेन शान्तकनीतम् रुदन्तं मुहुर्नेत्रयुग्मं मृजन्तं कराम्बोजयुग्मेन शान्तकनीतम् मुहुर्श्वासकं पातिरेखाककण्ठा स्थितग्रहं दामोदरं भक्तिपदम् मुहुर्श्वासकं पातिरेखाककण्ठा स्थितग्रहं दामोदरं भक्तिपदम् इति दिक्स्वलीलाभिरानन्दकुण्डे स्वकोशं निमज्जन्तम् आख्यापयन्तम् इति दिक्स्वलीलाभिरानन्दकुण्डे स्वघोषं निमज्जन्तम् आख्यापयन्तम् तदीशितादिषु भक्तैर्गत्वा पुनः प्रेमतस्तं श्रद्धावृत्ति वन्दे तदीशितादिषु भक्तैर्गत्वा पुनः प्रेमतस्तं श्रद्धावृत्ति वन्दे वरं देव मोक्षं न मोक्षावधिं वा न जन्यं वृणीहं वरिषारपिहा वरं देव मोक्षं न मोक्षावधिं वा न जन्यं वृणीहं वरिषारपिहा इदं देव पुरनाथ गोपालबालं सदा मे मनस्यापि रसं किमन्ये इदं देव पुरनाथ गोपालबालं सदा मे मनस्यापि रसं किमन्ये इदं ते मुखाम्बोजम् अत्यन्तनीलं वृतं कुण्डलैर्हरिद्ररक्षगोप्या इदं ते मुखाम्बोजम् अत्यन्तनीलं वृतं कुण्डलैर्हरिद्ररक्षगोप्या मुहुर्शुम्भितं दिव्यरत्नाकरं मे मनस्याविरसं अलं लक्ष्मणाभ्यां मुहुर्शुम्भितं दिव्यरत्नाकरं मे मनस्याविरसं अलं लक्ष्मणाभ्यां नमो देव दामोदर अनन्त विष्णु प्रसीद प्रभो दुःखजलाधिमग्नम् नमो देव दामोदर अनन्त विष्णु प्रभो दुःखजलाधिमग्नम् कृपादृष्टिविष्ट्यादिदिनं ग्रहाणीश मामज्ञविद्यश्चिदृश्या कृपादृष्टिविष्ट्यादिदिनं ग्रहाणीश मामज्ञविद्यश्चिदृश्या कुबेरात्मजो बद्धमुद्यैव यद्वा त्वया मोदितो भक्तिभाजो कृतो च कुबेरात्मजो बद्धमुद्यैव यद्वा त्वया मोदितो भक्तिभाजो कृतो च तथा प्रेम भक्तिं सदा मे प्रयच्छ न मोक्षे ग्रहो मे दामोदरेह तथा प्रेम भक्तिं सदा मे प्रयच्छ न मोक्षे ग्रहो मे दामोदरेह नमस्ते सुधामे सुररिधामे त्वदीयोदरायास विश्वसिधामे नमस्ते सुधामे सुररिधामे त्वदीयोदरायास विश्वसिधामे नमो राधिकाये प्रियाये नमो रंगलीलाय देवाय तुभ्यं नमो राधिकाये प्रियाये नमो रंगलीलाय देवाय तुभ्यं नमामीश्वरं सच्चिदानन्दरूपं लसत्कुण्डलं गोकुले विराजमानं नमामीश्वरं सच्चिदानन्दरूपं लसत्कुण्डलं गोकुले विराजमानं यशोदामियोलोकलादमानं परामृष्टमत्यन्तदुःखी गोप्या यशोदामियोलोकलादमानं परामृष्टमत्यन्तदुःखी गोप्या हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे जय राधा दामोदर राधा दामोदर राधा जय राधा दामोदर राधा दामोदर राधा जय राधा श्याम सुंदर राधा श्याम सुंदर राधा जय राधा श्याम सुंदर राधा श्याम सुंदर राधा जय राधा माधव राधा माधव राधा जय राधा माधव राधा माधव राधा जय गंधर्विका गिरिधारी गंधर्विका गिरिधारी गौर हरि जय गंधर्विका गिरिधारी गंधर्विका गिरिधारी गौर हरि जय लक्ष्मी नरसिंह जय अनंत देव लक्ष्मी नरसिंह जय अनंत देव जय लक्ष्मी नरसिंह जय अनंत देव लक्ष्मी नरसिंह जय अनंत देव जय गौरनिताय जय गौरनिताय गौरनिताय जय गौरनिताय जय गौरनिताय 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 जय गौरनिताय जय जय प्रभुपाद 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 जय जय प्रभुपाद जय जय प्रभुपाद 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 जय जय प्रभुपाद जय जय गुरुदेव 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 जय जय गुरुदेव जय जय गुरुदेव 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 जय जय गुरुदेव नित्य गौर हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल नित्य गौर हरि बोल नित्य गौर हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल नित्य गौर हरि बोल हरि नाम संकीर्तन की जय दामोदराष्टकम की जय गौरा प्रेमानंदे हरि बोल हरे कृष्ण
Thank you very much, Vikas Prabhu, Renu Mataji, and their two beautiful daughters. Very heartfelt prayer, very nicely recited by this wonderful family, Prabhuji and family. They have been practicing for now number of years, starting from our Gita course that we had initially. So, and very sincerely practicing and contributing to the various services of our Bhakti Center. So, I'd really like to thank Prabhuji and the entire family by loudly chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. So, I would like to thank once again all the devotees for joining today's our daily Damodar program. And Prabhuji would like to read the translation before we wrap up.
Yeah, Prabhuji.
Yes.
To the Supreme Lord, whose form is the abundant of eternal existence, knowledge, and bliss, whose shark-shaped earrings are swinging to and fro, who is beautifully shining in the divine realm of Gokula, who, due to the offense of breaking the pot of yogurt that his mother was churning into butter and then stealing the butter that was kept hanging from the swing, is quickly running from the wooden grinding motor in the fear of Mother Yashoda, but who has been caught from behind by her, who ran after him with great speed, so that Supreme Lord Sri Damodar, to that Supreme Lord Sri Damodar, I offer my humble obeisances.
Seeing the whipping stick in his mother's hand, he is crying and rubbing his eyes again and again with his two lotus hands. His eyes are filled with fear, and the necklace of pearls around his neck, which is marked with three lines like a conch shell, is shaking because of his quick breathing due to crying. To the Supreme Lord Sri Damodara, whose belly is bound not with ropes but with his mother's pure love, I offer my humble obeisances.
By such childhood pastimes as this, he is drowning the inhabitants of Gokula in pools of ecstasy and is revealing to those devotees who are absorbed in knowledge of his supreme majesty and opulence that he is only conquered by devotees whose pure love is imbued by intimacy and free from all conceptions of awe and reverence. With great love, I again offer my obeisances to Lord Damodara hundreds and hundreds of times.
O Lord, although you are able to give all kinds of benedictions, I do not pray to you for the boon of impersonal liberation, nor the highest liberation of eternal life in Vaikuntha, nor any other boon which may be executed by executing the nine processes of bhakti. O Lord, I simply wish that this form of yours as Bala Gopala in Vrindavana may ever be manifest in my heart. For what is the use to me of any other boon besides this?
Hare Krishna. O Lord, your lotus face, which is encircled by locks of soft black hair, tingled with red, is kissed again and again by Mother Yashoda, and your lips are reddish like bimba fruit. May this beautiful vision of your lotus face be ever manifested in my heart. Thousands and thousands of other benedictions are no use to me.
O Supreme Godhead, I offer my obeisances unto you. O Damodara, O Ananta, O Vishnu, O Master, O my Lord, be pleased upon me. By showering your glance of mercy upon me, deliver this poor ignorant fool who is immersed in an ocean of worldly sorrows and become visible to my eyes. Hare Krishna.
O Lord Damodara, just as the two sons of Kubera, Manigreva and Nalkuvara were delivered from the curse of Narada and made into great devotees by you in your form as a baby tied with rope to a wooden grinding mortar, in the same way, please give me your own Prema Bhakti. I only long for this and have no desire for any kind of liberation.
O Lord Damodara, I first of all offer my obeisances to the brilliantly effulgent robe which binds your belly. I then offer my obeisances to your belly, which is the abode of the entire universe. I humbly bow down to your most beloved Srimati Radharani, and I offer all obeisances to you, the Supreme Lord, who displays unlimited pastimes.
Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Prabhujis. Thank you, everybody, for joining the call once again. So we'll wrap up for today. Would request everybody to join once again tomorrow. Hare Krishna. Damodar Stakam ki